Bottom line is, Justin, as I understand it, you might have even sold some ETH. Can you please confirm that?
I can confirm that I've sold some ETH.
Let's go.
There's hope for everybody.
All the haters in the comments saying this is a top signal for memes. It's not. This is only the beginning of phase 2 of the bull market, in my opinion. Memecoin Supercycle. I've been red pilled. I fully believe in it now.
Like if I was all in on Pepe, even though my Pepe thesis was right, I would have made more money. But I could have been all in on Justin, Ethereum, and not made a lot of money. So for me, it was about making a few strategic bets across the sectors that I thought would perform, and that's still the strategy that I take going forward. And then I'm also trading as well. So I'll have that core portfolio, which might be 80%, which is set, and I just manage it. But then I have that 20% which I'm trading, and that 20% that I'm trading, that's always going to be in the hottest playground. And right now that's memes. So that's when I'm getting in and out of these positions, it's memes. And then if next week it's something else, that's where I'll kind of speculate on.
Welcome, everybody. This is the second episode post-election, and I feel like each one is progressively getting crazier. We have Miles Deutscher with us. Very excited. Miles is one of my favorite YouTubers, content creators. Miles, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. Excited to degen out a little bit. I've heard some rumors about Taiki and Justin repositioning their portfolios a bit to go a little bit more risk on memes. So I think there's a lot to unpack today.
Yeah, the lads... this is our 69th episode. I just bring it up for the meme-ness because this is a Memecoin Supercycle. So, Steady Lads listeners, on our 69th episode, you will hear that some of the lads have changed personality. For real. I'm not kidding. So we will see Justin and Taiki's shifts. And, I want to get a shift as well at some point. I need a narrative arc. But for today, it'll be these two. And Miles, you can hop in, but it seems like we are in a Bitcoin plus memes super cycle. At least this is what the last week has been telling us. Maybe we can bring up some of the weekly moves, Justin, on CoinGecko. But in the meantime, Miles, have you just been... I see the Bitcoin logo in the background there, but
Yeah, holding
okay.
Bitcoin. Always holding Bitcoin. No, look, for me, it's been one of the craziest weeks because I actually bought Pepe. There's a video on my Twitter if you guys want to verify this. I bought it at around 100 mil market cap, and it's now 10 bills. That was my first buy. Obviously, I've been taking profits and adding more as price went up. So I've been Pepe's been my number one meme for the whole cycle. I've kind of banged the drum multiple times on YouTube. So it's been a bit of a euphoric / crazy couple of days for me. Hitting that milestone, I don't think I've ever hit 100x before. So that's been a bit crazy. So that's pretty much where my focus has been, and then just trying to catch up with the meme coin rotations right now, which are just happening really quick. So maybe later in the video I'll talk about it, but I've had a couple plays moving down the risk curve on Coinbase. I've added a few other dog coins to try and catch up to the whiff trade. So that's pretty much where my head's been at, kind of just going where the liquidity's flowing. That's definitely the memes right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do a high level review, and then we'll do a 50 IQ segment, I call it. We'll do a quick, assuming you're in the trenches, what's the 50 IQ takes that are going to work? But we see, Bitcoin up 17% on the week. ETH is up 10%, Solana's up 10%. So those two are lagging. Doge 100%. XRP and Cardano outperforming 40%. That is telling me that we're getting some of the, I don't want to call it dumb retail, but some of the last cycle people who look at the coins that they recognize rather than what's been hot in the last 2 years. They go with 2021 recognizable names. Shiba as well is in that category, 32%. But Pepe, the one you mentioned, it seems to me that a lot of this has been driven by new listings.
Yeah, so it got listed on Robinhood and Coinbase, and so obviously that's been the catalyst. But I think what actually happened, if you look at the chart, it compressed into that range for so long. And when you think about it, Pepe is probably the most recognizable meme on the planet, at least in the online domain, which is basically where memes live anyway, right? So to have that converging with the big listing, so people were finally exposed to actually be able to buy them. I think that was really positive, and that's what caused the reaction. I also want to kind of go into what I think the psychology of what's happening at the moment. I think what's happening is if you go into the finance rankings, Coinbase and Robinhood are now ranked 1 and 2 in terms of the App Store rankings, right? So you have a lot of retail which are re-downloading Coinbase, or they've just had it on their phones and it's been dominant. They're logging back into the apps and they're seeing, oh wow, that Doge position that was worth $10 for years is now worth $100, or that, $500 I put in last cycle, which I thought was dead, because a lot of the retail they don't sell, right? They just hold throughout the whole bear market. They're opening it up and be like, oh, I've got $500 again. And that gets them excited, telling their friends, like going onto the meme section, and maybe they sell some and buy something else. So I think it's like a bit of a marketing campaign. Like when a token like Doge goes up, it's marketing for like normie retail, because the first thing they do is open up like Robinhood, Coinbase. So a lot of the memes that are pumping right now are the ones that are getting listed there or have been listed there. Whiff as well got a listing.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but we talk frequently around how Bitcoin doesn't necessarily create a massive wealth effect, because the people that hold Bitcoin are, at this point, a lot of serious, large institutions and, very rich people. ETH is like the community money where like when it pumps, everybody has some, and it kind of gets distributed. But now Dogecoin potentially is the meme coin sort of wealth effect, because that goes up and then, people maybe rotate it into some of the other stuff that's going on. I have the first announcement. So Justin, guys, this might mark the bottoms and tops, so just get ready. Justin has done a profound shift for psychological purposes. Justin, can you tell us more?
Yeah, look, I've been, so I'm in Bangkok right now. I'm at DevCon, which is an Ethereum-based conference, and it's been an interesting experience. Most of the people here are developers. They're sort of disconnected from the price, but the big milestone that happened at DevCon was Justin Drake gave a talk on sort of like the next 5 years for Ethereum and how Ethereum is going to scale and what's on the roadmap. And he laid out this 5-year vision, which if you're familiar with Ethereum development and development in general, everything always takes longer than you think it's going to take. So this is a 5-year plan. If we look at what happened with ETH2 back in the day, that took many, many years more than was planned. So maybe this is like an 8-year plan. And it seems so out of touch with reality and what was going on in the space. And then the cherry on top here, going to pull this tweet up, as Justin Drake was giving this talk on the future of Ethereum, literally at DevCon, at the exact same moment, the Ethereum Foundation was selling ETH, selling the top into this hype. So Ethereum hit 3,400 leading into this talk. The EF sold as the talk was happening, and then ETH has been down and bleeding against Bitcoin. So all of that ETH BTC pump has retraced. It's been really tough to be the guy talking about Ethereum every week on this channel, reading the comments, hearing how mid-curve I am. And so Taiki has finally convinced me. I've dipped my toe into meme coins.
You're giving like the, when you have to have like a breakup talk and you just like start explaining, hey, like it's not you, but this happened. Bottom line is, Justin, as I understand it, you might have even sold some ETH. Can you please confirm that?
I can confirm that I've sold some ETH.
Let's go.
There's hope for everybody.
All the haters in the comments saying this is the top signal for memes. It's not. This is only the beginning of phase 2 of the bull market, in my opinion. Memecoin Supercycle. I've been red pilled. I fully believe in it now.
Yeah, this is the second shift. Taiki has abandoned Aave. He's
no. I still hold Aave. I still hold all my Aave.
But you're less excited.
I'm less excited, yeah. I think I've come to the conclusion that the alt season that we're going to see this cycle is not going to be in the tech alts, because they're all fairly valued or overvalued. If people want to make money, they're going to go to meme coins. So the alpha and the edge is like which sectors are going to outperform, like which which meme sectors are going to outperform. You have to fully embrace it. It's not what I want to happen. It's not what you want to happen. Market wants memes. Coinbase is incentivized to list more meme coins. Binance is incentivized to list more meme coins. That creates like a marketing loop, as Mal said earlier. It creates a wealth effect for the trenches. It's going to happen, So I'm just fully in.
He's fully in. Like there was a Halloween, I think, chopping block recently where, Hasib played Taru and like they all kind of played each other. It feels like, like the roles are shifting here. So Miles is becoming Taiki. Taiki is becoming Miles. And Justin is, I don't know what's going on. Everyone's like shifting. Because Miles, you've been actually doing a little bit of like you have more belief in utility than Taiki maybe, or
I mean, so this whole cycle I've been around 30% memes, like very heavy. And what's happened is memes, because like my utility bags are just like sideways or maybe up a little bit, but not up a lot. Like the memes have just engulfed my portfolio. I think that at some point yesterday it was like 50%, just due to Pepe's outperformance, really, and Whiff as well, which were like my two biggest meme coin holdings. So I'm having to like peel it back a bit, and I'm taking some profits into stables, but I'm also looking at, okay, like where's the next rotation, and I think there's a couple candidates. I think AI at some point is going to come back as a bit of a rotationary play. I think what's the most memeable utility sector, if utility is going to run, it's probably AI. I think DeFi is another sector that could do okay just around the whole like Trump, like regulatory landscape narrative. But, you know, you can make the argument that pump should have happened the second he won, like to be priced in, which it did, and then it's kind of slowed. So we're going to see what needs to happen on the DeFi front. But I think AI will probably be the first sector out of the utility coins to catch that bid. And, you know, people are quick to dismiss utility. Like over the past couple of days, everyone's saying, oh, it's Memecoin, Supercycle, and forget about everything else. 3 days ago, AI coins, RWA coins, and Cardano and layer ones, like they were pumping, they were repricing really aggressively. So I think we kind of have this goldfish memory in the space of like, you know, memes pump for a day and utility sells off and oh, it's the end. But like there's going to be a period in the next few months where you see utility coins catch a bid again. So for me, I'm just like, I'm not fully shifting because obviously I've been very into memes. I still believe in, I guess, the Memecoin super cycle, so to speak, but I've just had to peel it back because these things can also retrace a lot. That's the reality.
it is the reality. We're definitely in the midst of what is either a mania or a Memecoin super cycle. We'll see which one. I think some of the irrelevant coins have tried to tack on to the Memecoin thesis. There was a Litecoin tweet that I thought was pretty funny.
So is this the official Litecoin foundation or account?
It's an official account. It says, due to current market conditions, I now identify as a meme coin.
And
It's very good.
in the reply section, it says, "Glad you like it. Now buy me." Right, good tweet. Glad you like it. Now buy me. It's like the Litecoin community is desperate to catch on to, I guess, a narrative.
It actually pumped after that tweet. I'm not going to lie. It went from 65 to 80. It did. If you look at the chart.
Great marketing tool. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a valiant attempt. So Justin said something a few weeks ago when we were going crazy about this GOAT stuff. He said, if like, you know, next month or in a few weeks, there's a new meta, a new meme coin meta, then it means that this is just a nonstop rotation. I think the jury's still out. I mean, GOAT's still doing quite well, but you know, we're back on the zoo coins. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the zoo animals are. I thought the Mudang thing would have been a one-off, one-hit wonder, but it seems to have some lasting power, Justin. And then there's another one now called. This is from Peanut the Squirrel. So at that squirrel,
this one. I started at 50 mil and I faded, and I'm just this one makes me sick. I can't look at this one.
Put the chart away. It's at $2 billion for everybody on audio. It's at $2 billion for the squirrel.
See, like Binance, like they're tired of listing high FTV coins and having it go down, have their like users lose money. So now they're just gonna start listing memes because then everyone makes money, right? And then that will lead to more volumes on their exchange. So they're gonna keep listing memes. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, this is a good point. When we look at some of the listings that Binance has done, they obviously got criticized for some of the 10 million market cap, you know, total like insider coins that they've listed. But if you look at the chart, yeah, it has gone up, you know, for now, at least. Meanwhile, the other Binance listings are going down. What do you guys think? Like, is the strategy for centralized exchanges to just like list these things, and is this sustainable?
It's pretty clear the exchanges are lagging, right? So they're, in my opinion, just lagging indicators. I don't think it's true, Taiki, that more people will make money on memes and then other coins. I think it's probably going to be a similar distribution. I think they just want to stay relevant and list what's popping off now, and that's meme coins. There aren't really new big project launches we're seeing that are generating a lot of hype right now.
Let's give up this little tweet quickly from Ramonos on, you know, some people have been noticing some patterns in the Binance listings. He's saying, yo, Binance, I have something that you might like. And it's a coin with $35 of liquidity and $381 FTV. They have been getting like more and more absurd, I would say.
Do you think it's also a thing of like they need to, like, the cycle has a definite lifespan, and we saw this last cycle, especially when it comes to altcoins. So they need to, I mean, they need to make money, right? Especially before like new regulations come in, and we don't know what's happening in the background. So is it just like an extraction thing? Just like any other industry person tries to like extract max value? Is that just their way of going, this is just how we're going to extract the most capital? Is it really about protecting users?
I don't think it's either. I know the founders of these exchanges have brought up this topic. It's a little bit of like, this is what the users want, just give them what they want kind of thing. I don't think that these founders are particularly like massive fans of meme coins at all. They understand that, there's a certain casino element here. And
why are they listing like Peanut? My question is like, why list Mudeng and Peanut? Maybe it's because Peanut has the whole Elon Musk thing. But why not list some other memes that, like, there's a lot of massive memes that they haven't listed that are like really big and popular and have big communities. So I question maybe not the logic. I question the specific ones that they're selecting and just asking like, why those ones?
There has been some controversy with Binance listing fees, and a lot of Twitter posts around asking for transparency on like, what is the listing fee that Binance is getting for these things. Asahi responded like 0 for some of the latest ones.
Act.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way, just if they list like 2 meme coins a week for the next many months, then it just creates like this Russian roulette of this memes, which creates like more on-chain activity in a way that's beneficial for ETH and Solana as well. You can argue that this is like, in the long term, it doesn't really matter, right? But I feel like listing memes creates more wealth for the average retail than listing some like 5 billion FTV vaporware, because then like stuff like that just makes the team money and the investors money.
It'll start to lose. There'll start to be diminishing returns, though, don't you think? Like if they launch 2 a week, within 3 weeks, everyone's sick of it. And what ends up happening is the memes that they list, all the whales that buy on chain, they're using Binance as exit liquidity because that's how they can get like big chunks out. So don't you think that opens up the risk of like all the insiders that have been scooping up these memes that they just use Binance to like dump on retail?
I also want to ask you guys, like, why do tokens that get a big Binance listing pump so much? I mean, I understand there's accessing a new user base of potential buyers of the token, but like, I would have thought over the years the Binance pump or a listing pump would diminish over time, but it seems to have accelerated. And I'm curious, is it just reflexive? Like, what's actually going on here?
I don't think there's a signal from it. I think it's just literally millions of people. What I've realized, and I've reflected upon this, is that just having like millions of people see something, you just need like 0.1% to act on that to get like a meaningful, effect out of it. So it's just the sheer numbers game, I think, and it ends up accumulating into this like snowball. I don't think that there's any like smart wisdom of the crowds. It's kind of like stupidity of the crowds, but it's a numbers game, I think. The thing I wonder right now when I like think about the Solana thesis, right? Like the decentralized NASDAQ, as Kal Samani came on and told us about, and Anatoly says, we're not really like NASDAQ as much as a casino, right? And the success of Solana is around the speculative games going on. So I put a little tweet out, and I don't mean it like in a good or bad way. It's just NASDAQ is 6 billion revenue a year. And if you look at some of the Macau or Vegas or even Singapore, those places make over 20 billion a year in revenue. It's actually a bigger game to be a casino than to be like a stock exchange, even the biggest stock exchange. I feel it's sort of like backdoored, where we thought that the big game was going to be NASDAQ, but it's actually much bigger and explains what we're seeing now, that the speculation game is kind of where we're ending up. What do you guys think about that?
Taiki and I were talking about this a little bit before the show, and Taiki was sort of convincing me and getting me to buy into memes and also to just divest a little from ETH and get some more exposure. And I was asking him, well, Taiki, like we're the same class. We started the same time. We both started making DeFi YouTube videos, and we're like very aspirational about this space and what we wanted. And I do think it could be a backdoor that's happening right now, but I also can't help but feel a little disappointed, like that the industry is where it is. And I know I want to make money. I don't want to be right. So and I've been proven wrong. But it is a little discouraging to see. And I guess the big hope is that like maybe this is the back door to get retail adopted to actually build out these, decentralized rails that we're actually all here for to begin with.
And another thing to add is, the token and the product is separate, right? Like Uniswap is doing great, Pump Fund is doing great, but like the token is just like this quasi equity. And I think people are just getting smarter that like this isn't equity. It's just like a coin that's loosely attached to the tech, and it's not really going to have any value accrual. And even if it does have value accrual, it's pretty much overvalued anyways. And crypto is just a place to make money. Like most people come to crypto to make money. If you're super rich, then you just like, post Bitcoin and ETH and like you kind of like feel good about yourself. But if you're trying to make money in crypto, the only place to do it is in memes. So it's just like human motivation is just going to drive capital to memes. And if you expect the retail to come in Q1, Q2 of next year, then they're going to buy memes.
Yeah, I mean, Miles, Miles has been like very open-minded for a long time. He's, memes, utility, all the different categories have exposure. How do you see it, Miles? Like, are you kind of like mid-curving and like willing to go everywhere, or because you've always been open to like memes even before it became a super cycle, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I've been buying memes for a long time. Like that first Pepe buy was in 2013, but I think it's all about like concentrated diversification. So what do I mean by that? It's like pick a few sectors that you're really bullish on. For me, it's been memes, AI, and probably like RWA/DeFi, but specifically RWA this cycle, and buy the best assets. And I kind of barbell them. Like I buy the leaders from each sector, so I have like general like proxy exposure to the upside, and then I like buy some lower caps in each sector to like have that, potential 10, 20, 30x play. So that's kind of how I've structured my portfolio from the very get-go. So then naturally when memes pop off, I'm able to, do really well on the meme thing. And then you can kind of just like adjust your weightings over time. And I said right now, I'll probably go heavier the other way. And so for me, it's always been about diversity. Like I haven't been all in one token. It probably means that like if I was all in on Pepe, even though my Pepe thesis was right, I would have made more money. But, I could have been all in on, sorry, Justin, Ethereum, and like not made a lot of money. So for me, it was about like making a few strategic like bets across the sectors that I thought would perform. And that's still the strategy that I take going forward. And then I'm also trading as well. So like I'll have that core portfolio, which might be like 80%, which is like set. And I just like, manage it. But then I have that 20%, which I'm trading. And that 20% that I'm trading, that's always going to be in the hottest playground. And right now that's memes. So that's, when I'm getting in and out of these positions, it's memes. And then if next week it's something else, that's where I'll kind of speculate on.
Sorry, just to chime in here. As we were talking about Justin buying memes, I don't think you mentioned the ticker, Justin. I think that people want to know, like, what did you end up buying a little bit of?
Oh, I bought Pepe.
Yeah, there you go.
Why was it Pepe and not Doge?
That's what Taiki told me to buy.
Okay.
Also, it was just easy to swap my ETH to, right? Like Doge, I'd have to go to Coinbase, buy some Doge, figure out how to get a self-custody Doge wallet. Pepe, just go swap on CowSwap.
So Pepe has become like the ETH capitulators coin because it's on the same chain. You can swap it easily. So you're capitulating because you heard of the timeline from Justin Drake. I think just to like touch upon the conference since we're here, the roadmap I think is okay, but I think people got very disheartened by the 2030 timeline. Like obviously things are moving very quickly. No one is thinking about 2030, and I saw this great meme on like the ETH roadmap. We can bring this tweet up, which is we have this like every week. It's just a different version of this meme. This is the cuck guy getting cucked. The girl says, "Are you sure?" And the Ethereum guy says yes. And instead of Solana, now it's like 20 guys that are all L2s.
Look, I think the 5-year thing, it's fine to be aspirational, but I saw this really interesting tweet that was like, how do you have a 5-year engineer timeline? Like, are you understaffed? If that's the problem, like, let's get you more help. Like, what's the problem here? Is it we need more money for research? We need more developers. We need a more like corporate entity to manage this and to project manage this and get us to hit our timelines. Like, what's the problem here? And I think that's something that's really valid. And then the other piece here is just like, we're not in 2017 anymore where Ethereum's the only horse that's building something credible. in 5 years, God knows like what Solana will have built, what Sui will have built, what Say will have built, what a new chain that we haven't heard of will have built, what Monad will have built. So I don't think there's time to sort of play in the sandbox at this point because we are in a competitive space. And I think Ethereum thinks it's beyond and above competition, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Competition is coming and nipping at its heels. And I think we have to accelerate.
I mean, final point on this like philosophy. I think everyone, is probably like reflecting on what we're learning, and I think speculation is such a big part of the industry, and possibly like in the future it'll be even bigger because if you believe the AI thing, that a lot of jobs will go away and people will just be looking for other things to do, creative stuff or whatever. Probably speculation is gonna still be on the table as people try to hyper gamble their way into like that elite level of society. And I mentioned last episode that Mac Wong from Paradigm has been having this meme of the Trojan horse, where his original thesis is that it looks like a casino, but inside there's a financial system that's waiting and coming, and like a new financial system. So I've taken it a step further now. I made this meme. So Matt Wong is telling to TradFi that crypto is a new financial system masquerading as a casino. But I think inside of that, I'm going one level deeper. It's like Inception. Bum bum bum. I think there's like a casino on crack inside the new financial system masquerading a casino, because maybe like what's at the core of this is the speculative game, and maybe the memes are just a reflection of the sheer kind of global speculation that's happening.
Yeah, quick question. So Justin bought Pepe. I'm buying AI memes in Pepe, and then Miles is using us as exit liquidity to buy like DeFi coins. Jordy, like, what do you have any memes that you're looking at on your radar? Like, you said you wanted to like go on like a degen arc, right? Like, what are you looking at?
So okay, we'll do the little 50 IQ segment. Go around. We'll pretend like we are trying to be left curve and catch some of this like left curve activity that's going on. My left curve take, I think that I like the cults thesis of Murad's thesis, the cults aspect. I don't think that we have the best cults right now. I think there's some more cults coming. There's not many brands in crypto. I think the brands that are remaining to launch a meme coin might do very well. So I think Miladies has been working on a cult hashtag coin for a while. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, why it hasn't launched, what's going on there. But I would say that my 50 IQ take is that some of the few kind of like remaining well-known brands like Pepe that's done very well. There's a few other ones. They will probably be rushing to launch meme coins. That might be my interesting buy as a 50 IQ person. How about you, Miles? I think you might have some 50 IQ takes.
Yeah, I probably have quite a few. You know what shocked me? I was just looking through CoinGecko. I don't know if you want to edit it in or get the meme coin segment up on CoinGecko. But basically what I'm seeing is, and this is pretty crazy because I haven't actually looked at it like this in a few days. What's happened is there's this cluster of memes that were under 200 mil that have all like repriced really quickly to that 400 to 600 mil range. So you have all of these memes, if you just scroll down a little bit, like even below MOG, like this Flog, Turbo, SPX was much higher, and it's actually lower now, not because it's really dropped that much, just because all the other memes are up. The AI Pepe coin, Simon's Cat, like DOGE, but with the full stops, Department of Government Efficiency meme, MPC, I guess that's actually kind of not outperforming. Michi, all these memes that have basically like, yeah, they were like 1 to 200 mil, they've all repriced. So I think what that's signaling to me is people are kind of moving down the risk curve. A lot of people are viewing like Pepe and WIF and Doge to have like already run. So people are like naturally going for like, okay, what are those next memes that are yet to run? I think this rotation hasn't fully played out because I think every time your Doge runs and every time a Pepe runs, like some of the lower strong cults and strong memes, they'll naturally reprice. So for me, I'm kind of looking now. Obviously, I'm still holding a massive Pepe bag, massive WIF bag, but I'm looking now. Okay, what are some of the memes slightly lower that could potentially reprice? There are a few candidates. I don't really own much of it, much of them yet, but I'm just speaking out loud here. Like a Michi at 293. Once again, don't know much, but that's interesting. Myro's at 142 now. I remember that was like much higher. Like I'm just scrolling down here, like Toshi on base. I'm not saying buy these memes. I'm just giving like examples. Wojak.
Are these like too big though? Like for Binance listing, like is Binance looking for these? ACT was one I saw on there. This is the new AI coin. Are they just looking for these like tiny ones so that users can get the best bang for buck? I don't know. It seems like they
Puff's actually there. I'm scrolling down even more. Puff's there next to Sigma. So you've got Puff. There's a few memes like down the rankings, I think. I don't know.
Can I ask you guys though, like, I mean, as we're scrolling through this, like, I'll pull it up again. It does feel a little ridiculous that there's all these sort of ridiculous names at ridiculous valuations. Like, what is the signal to get out? Because as we've seen in the past, like the door out is quite small when it's time to get out. And these are rotation games. You have to get out in time, right? Or you lose everything.
let's scroll back down a little bit because you see the two Murad coins are actually down on the week, which was a standout.
That's what I've been doing.
Did everything else?
So that's actually what I've been doing. So I did a video yesterday. I've been buying the Murad coins. So SPX, Giga, like some of these coins. And rotating a little bit of my other memes like Pepe and Whiff out. Because what happens is these rotations, like for example, 3 weeks ago, everyone said, like I had a lot of people in my Discord like capitulating Pepe and Whiff because they weren't moving. Like, oh, should I sell and buy SPX? So now Pepe and Whiff are running and SPX and Giga are selling off. Like, I think they're going to come back at some point. So to me, it's like a logical trade.
Yeah, I think you just want to buy stuff that you can hold, that you believe in, and you don't want it to. You don't want a size too big where if it's not moving, you're going to capitulate. It's really hard. I think for me, if I had to pick AI coins, it would be in the AI meme coin space or in the base ecosystem. I think Coinbase gives less fucks, so they're going to start listing more of their ecosystem tokens. The meme coins in their ecosystem, like KeyCats up to like 100 mil, Mickle's pumping, everything is pumping. I think people are speculating on a future base listing. And it's not, they don't even have to list, right? Because if they just list one meme coin on base, everything's going to reprice. So there's like some front running there. I think the collective market cap of AI meme coins is 2 to 3 billion. I just think that's way too low. If you just don't buy the scams, if you just pick okay, I think, rising tide lifts all boats.
Are you in Toshi, Taiki? Because like apart from Brett, Degen, KeyCat, Toshi, they're like the three. And for me, like Toshi's like the OG one. Like that, I don't even own much right now, but that to me would be a logical play, maybe.
I really don't like Toshi. I think it's super cabal, which might not be a bad thing.
Is it as cabal as KeyCat though, or Brett? They seem more cabal than Toshi.
Brett is very cabal. Toshi is relatively cabal. Everything is cabal. That's unfortunately everything is cabal. Yeah, the only non-cabal is like a Doge or like a Shiba.
Or Goat kind of is less. I feel like it's a bit less cabal.
Yeah, I think Goat is gonna get at least 5 bill. Is my view.
Wow,
it's a very comfy hold.
Pikey in the house. The bull, yeah, meme coin bull, 5 bill.
AI meme coins. It's surely gonna reprice from here, right? Like it's hard to pick the name, like pick the winners, but 2 to 3 bill for the sector is way too low, I think.
So yeah, I mean, it all comes down to supply and demand, as we know, and we'll see how the imbalance of things goes. But I want to bring up something Miles quickly touched upon, which is NFT thing that happened last cycle. You get a saturation. There's more listings. They list 10 at a time. At this point, they're not listing one a week. It's just they're just coming out, and we saw this with NFTs. Yes, there was a lot of demand, and art blocks kept putting cadenzas, and those were doing amazing, and then the next one. At some point, you can make new ones so quickly with a click of a button. It just feels like we might be setting ourselves up for exactly what happened last cycle. And to Justin's point, like when do we sell? And somebody inadvertently sold, or maybe I think they got hacked for a couple $1 million of Giga. Justin, can you bring up the Giga chart? Because this was a little bit scary. Just a single community member on one of their wallets, I think it was like a couple $1 million that got taken out. So wow, I mean, look, the wick. It's like almost touching the volume chart here.
Accepting tips.
I think it was a couple $1 million. And it just goes to show you how little the liquidity is in some of these things. Even if they're trading at 700 million, they can quickly reprice. And it reminds me of, remember Taiki, we did the Olympus DAO video a few years ago? There was just like one seller that managed to catch the $1 billion top at the time. One guy cashed out, and you kind of see this effect. So
I mean, that's sort of what I've been saying, right? Like, I'm not saying the meme coin situation is over, right? I just bought some of a meme coin, but like scrolling through CoinGecko has to be concerning a little bit. It does remind me exactly like when we were scrolling through NFTs and there were so many collections that were copy paste and celebrities were shilling it. Everyone saying digital art was the future. Everyone saying meme coins are the future. I do wonder if we're just speed running that whole situation.
Yeah, I think the time you want to sell is when you think Bitcoin is topping, which is impossible to predict, right? We all have ideas. There's like, people think it's going to go to 200K, 150. Like, honestly, I have no idea. But as long as Bitcoin allows the party to continue, I think it's relatively safe, even though there's going to be like big, dips from here and there.
I think the dispersion thing is a valid point. Like, there's been a lot of talk about VC altcoin dispersion, but obviously there's new memes being created all the time. Like, the liquidity has to come from somewhere. So like Peanut, for example, that didn't exist a few weeks ago, and that's $1.6 billion market cap now. It doesn't mean there's $1.6 billion of capital in the coin, obviously, because of liquidity, but like there's still a significant amount of money that had to rotate into Peanut to get it to 1.6 bill. So like, I guess that there is a dispersion argument for sure. That's why I think you've got to be in the memes that have like a strong narrative, a strong community. Like, there are specific ones that I think will perform better. And I think the more you're in the trenches, the more you get a feel for like the types of memes that are likely to stick around. Like, there was a reason why I kept adding Pepe and Whiff, and it's just like, it was pretty simple. Like, Pepe is like the ETH beta, and Whiff's like the Solana beta, and you can do the same on base, like have the base beta, and you can kind of simplify it like that. And those leaders generally keep leading. Yeah, you just have to be selective with what ones you hold. Instead of, like, I think saying memes is too broad. It's like saying DeFi. There's a lot of rubbish DeFi. There's like a few really good coins, and it's the same as memes. Like, there's a few memes which actually have great communities, are probably going to do really well, and are actually funny. But just saying memes doesn't mean like along every single meme.
yeah, I mean, we're all learning what matters. I think the Elon Musk tweets and mentioning certain things is starting to work again, because he was tweeting about Peanut. Maybe that explains the 2 billion.
Yeah.
He is obviously going to lead the Department of Government Efficiency, and this is now like mainstream kind of news this term. I know, Eggy, you think that Doge will keep pumping based on that, and you have a target.
I'm not sure. I think Doge is the official meme coin of the U.S. government. Those are Chao Wing's words, not mine. But I think that kind of makes sense. I think Elon is going to be like have main character energy. He's going to keep showing it. I think $1 is the clear target. I think it will eventually get there. I don't know how long it'll be. I think there's a non-zero chance that like Doge can flip Ethereum if things get really crazy. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like, I don't think the probability is zero, because Doge hit 90 billion last cycle. It will probably surpass that. To like how much more, I have no idea. But if you're buying meme coins, you're betting on Doge going up, right? Because Doge going up lifts the ceiling and the floor for everything else. So it's kind of like, yeah, like Doge is the index. And
I think it's going to flip Solana. Like, I'm actually looking at the market caps now. It's 50 bills. Solana's 100. Like, that's a pretty easy flip for me. That's just like an 80-cent Doge. That's crazy. That would put Doge as the third biggest token in crypto if you're excluding Tether.
All you need is 1 week just like this one. I mean, Doge 100%, Solana 9.8% this week. So if it happens one more week, it's already in the air. Quickly, like before we go to pasta, let's look at Bitcoin, just to look at the market leader. Obviously, huge week of like the relative volatility of something like Bitcoin. Guys, like, I have not seen such an insatiable rally in crypto ever. As like the last week, I would say, like the non-stopness of there's no real dips. I think you could argue that this is a dip now, like from 92 to 89 or something small like this, but it's been relentless. And there are rumors of a nation state now being a top 5 holder in the Middle East. Apparently, I don't know any of this is substantiated. Michael Saylor has just gone wild and is buying more and more coins.
Wealth managers are recommending it to their clients. They remember that thing with like Bernstein or some wealth manager that they said buy crypto now, don't think, like just buy in their like official recommendation to like their LPs.
That was incredible. That was hard to believe. That
It might be Photoshop. Who knows?
no, I think it was real. I mean, seems to be what's happening. The last 10 days have felt like crypto's back on the table. Everyone's talking about it again. There's a lot of people I've met at DEF CON whose thesis is like, don't sell anything until the inauguration, because we are still in the anticipation. Just like when you had the ETF anticipated, the flows come later. So we still have more of a build-up period. That's the thesis. But it feels like everything's getting like really hot, really fast. I do think that Bitcoin can quite easily break 100K.
Polymarket has it at a 70% chance by end of year to break 100, and it has it at like a 35 now percent chance to break it by end of November. So the odds are suggesting it will break 100 by the end of year, just based on speculative markets.
I'm actually completely aligned with the inauguration thesis. Especially for Bitcoin, the promise of what Trump can do is much less than the reality, in my opinion, especially for Bitcoin. And so I do think like inauguration day is a possible winner for a top for Bitcoin. So I'm very bought into that. My other observation from DevCon, just from being here, I know it's an Ethereum conference, but these are 20,000 like crypto natives that have been in the space for 7 years. And I don't know anyone that owns Bitcoin here. No one's talking about it. It seems like it's not even happening. And it feels kind of like a bear market, because this is an Ethereum mostly conference, and Ethereum's not done well. And so the energy just isn't there, right? The builders are building, but there's no bull energy. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a question for Jordy. So, obviously it's November, it's like mid-November right now. And people are sitting on some gains. The inauguration's in January. Maybe people will delay their taxes or capital gains till January. So maybe we see like a scary dip in January. Maybe people think it's over. Maybe in Q2 we have like a second leg higher. There's additional euphoria, and maybe then it's over. I mean, honestly, like no one really knows, but I could definitely see end of year just getting crazy for those factors alone as well.
I think what people forget, and those of us who have kind of been in for a long time know, is that the whales are still behind the scenes collectively pulling the strings. As long as they feel like there's a next something to look forward to, they might delay the rinse. At some point, there will be a rinse. There's a lot of big holders, especially in Asia, I would say, that they want the dumb American retail to come back and buy their bags. They're looking for the opportunity to get this exit, because this is like how they became so wealthy. It's like they keep finding this, and it reminds me of March 2021 when Tesla was buying Bitcoin, everything was going crazy, and one day they just said, "Okay, we're done, guys," and we just had like the 50% drawdown in Bitcoin in a day or two.
Jordy, I want to ask you a question. You probably have more insight into this than I do. Like, how do they actually coordinate that? Like, is there some telegram of like big whales, and like how do they actually like feasibly pull these strings? Are you referencing like it's the exchanges doing it? Like, who are these people, and how do they actually like coordinate big sell-offs and pumps?
Well, definitely like the big multi-billionaires are generally connected to each other in crypto, and they do chat around, what each other is doing. I have seen them like psyop each other. I hear of, I've like, been close to certain conversations where they might not be telling the truth about what they're going to do just to
Front run the other one.
Yeah. So that happens. But overall, I think the way to think about it is if these whales see like Coinbase keeps going up the leaderboard on the App Store, and there's inauguration and there's still kind of more coming, they might hold back and just kind of take a little bit of profit. But let's not forget that the concentration of these coins is still, not that distributed. Bitcoin has been around for forever, and it's still not that distributed. So forget a meme coin that launched last week, like a Peanut or something like that. We'll see when people want to take profit. I think right now everyone's so bullish. They even got me kind of convinced not to try to short anything, which I'm normally like looking for shorts in these situations. But I don't think it's worth the psychological pain of going through I think the best traders always look for shorts, but there are situations where you should just sit on your hands and be happy.
Yeah, respect the pump. Respect the pump.
Jordy, it's interesting to hear like that the market really can be dictated by like a small number of individuals. And the thought that just came across my mind is like, what happens when Michael Saylor has to sell? Just insane to think about.
I don't think he's gonna do it anytime.
Not anytime soon, but everyone buys it to sell it at some point, right? I mean, we'll see.
I think usually it's because people get over leveraged and they get forced liquidated, like like the stories we've seen in the past with Bill Huang and stuff. I think that will happen to certain coins for sure. I saw that Grass, there was a hyperliquid trader that has been pyramiding himself up and just like leveraging long with like the new UPNL and just kind of keep going. And that's done tremendously well, as an 8-figure position. But I think the liquidation point also, is quite high, and those things can get washed out very suddenly. So we might see some blood at some point, but maybe not quite yet.
Yeah, and one last thing before we go to pasta. I mean, we've been doing this for like 50 minutes, and I'm just in awe at like how left curve I've become. Miles and I were talking before this. We were like, yeah, like Miles was like, yo, like I'm so surprised you're like just meme coining now, because I think I came up as such like a DeFi guy, right?
I used to watch you for like your deep dives on farming like stable coins on and like
I know
Aave and Uniswap and.
But if you really think about it, it's the same. Like, was farming like a Trader Joe farm any different than buying a meme coin, right? It's actually like the same thing. A goose find like all the goose forks.
It's not the same thing. Like the return profile is different. You're kind of trying to make Taiki was like a slow and steady farming. You just get a yield and you accumulate it. Not like this. Like
I hung the patent rake. It's been there for months. I'm not gonna bring it back anytime soon. But I do worry though. Like I'm so confident of the Memecoin Supercycle that I am nervous a little bit, deep down inside. But
learn from me, Taiki. Nothing is a sure thing.
Nothing is a sure thing. I know.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap up this meme heavy episode. We'll do a pasta of the week. Justin, show us your pasta.
All right. So my pasta really hits home. Very thematic. So Eric, friend of the pod, says, Eric, who radicalized you? This tweet radicalized me. And it's a screenshot of Sasano, probably the biggest Ethereum bull of all time, mistweeting Ethereum's North Star because it's so confusing. No one can possibly understand it. And I'm pretty sure no one on this planet has read this roadmap except for Vitalik himself, who made it. So Anthony Sasano tweeted, this is Ethereum's North Star. And then the next tweet, actually, this is the most updated roadmap. I accidentally posted the old one. Point still stands, though, which was hilarious. And to me, this like encapsulates it perfectly, right? Like the plot is so lost. No one really knows what's happening at this point. And the last piece I'll say, Justin Drake gave a talk here about the 5-year plan for how we're going to scale Ethereum more in this new chain. World War II was finished we got World War II over with. The US won in under 5 years. Like, I think we can build the future of Ethereum in less than 5 years. Let's try to get it done in a year.
Let's try.
That's what's funny, but very aspirational, Justin.
As a Ethereum capitulator, Justin, now like that is a valid point and a valid pasta.
As an activist investor now.
Yeah, it's like this is going to be longer than it took to get a man on the moon by the time this new Justin Drake vision is over with. That was like 7 years.
All right, Taiki, let's see your pasta.
Yeah, so I've just been left curving on Twitter. I think people have gotten upset that I've just been like, just memeing. But I posted this tweet yesterday. I thought it was like really funny. It's like the mid curve is like the pump is over. And then the right curve is like the retards are coming. And then the left curve is like, yes, Butterino, we are coming. Like this. I fully believe that this is where we are when it comes to memes. There's going to be like, things are going to get a lot crazier. I don't know which coins. I don't know. Hopefully, my coins are good and like, everyone makes money. But, I feel euphoric. I feel like I'm enjoying it.
Did you make this one yourself?
No, so someone sent it to me. and I'm like, yo, this is
Oh, man.
amazing. Yeah, so maybe okay. I mean, I
Some,
get
like,
mixed on.
somebody else's. Yeah, it's you got the most liked video of the tweet of the week, and it's not even your own work. But okay, it is great. It's a really
Wow, I
great
didn't see how many likes it got. 5.5K. That's crazy.
Buckle up, boyos.
video.
That's crazy.
Awesome, Miles. What do you have?
Okay, my pasta is just like something that I saw that I just thought was funny. If you want to bring it up, it's like this photo. It's like this photo of Ansem and like this Asian woman, and she's like, once you go black, you can never go back. I just thought it was hilarious, like to have the nerve to post that. And there's all these. The comments are the funniest part. If you scroll through the comments, like that's really the funniest part of this tweet.
So I like that you don't like know Irene. You're like, oh, some woman, some.
I don't know Irene actually. Yeah, who's Irene? Tell me the.
So she created like the first simp DAO, or the most notable simp DAO. I think she sold like a simp NFT collection that a lot of folks aped into.
And now she's going black.
And she's not gonna go back.
Yes.
Ansem's hilarious though. Like that guy just prancing around the world, going to nightclubs, seeing all these women. Meanwhile, he's like 8-year-old kids.
Really
back
nice
home.
too.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
He's so nice.
Yeah,
He's so nice. But it's just like the lifestyle is insane. Like he's like a rock star, like a complete crypto rock star.
It's like the Solana Chad versus the Eat Cuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
I spent some nights with him in Vegas this summer and got to see the behind the scenes of this lifestyle, and it's pretty fucking insane. Hard to believe, and he is definitely just in the flow of things, just going with what the universe is presenting, and it is presenting quite a substantial amount of stuff going on. Yeah.
And fame.
All right. Well, and fame.
And prison time. Not yet. And I mean, I don't know. Either he's a Fed or he's living in the US. Like, I don't know, bro. I mean, just the thought of pumping memes in the US would scare anyone. So, I mean, you've got some nerve, you know?
All he needs to do is make it till the Trump presidency, right? Like once Trump gets inaugurated, if he's out then it's he's got at least 4 years, because I don't think much is. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I think the expectation is that the SEC will be bare bones staff. There might be like some old lady with a cigarette kind of at the desk and like nobody else. All right, guys, it's been a meme heavy episode. We'll, of course, diversify next week, unless it's still a meme coin market. But we'll wrap up with my favorite meme coin right now, which is, of course, Puff. We have a new episode if you guys want to check it out. We'll put a short clip here. It is Puff trying to exit the layer 2 cave, and we'll see Shaka as well.
Evil. There is no bull. There is no bear. There is only the forest.
Whoa!
Hey, what happened?
Bridging out of layer 2 isn't such a smooth ride, huh? What's going on there?
There's some things in the dark forest just here for fun and game. Not me. What's she calling again? Leave me alone.
You can answer that?
Nah, I'm gonna go flip some coins and try to make some wolf changing money.
Wow, those are big.
Did you catch the name there, Miles?
Which name?
Irene.
I guess that's it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's down there. Okay. Gotcha.
You see the wheels
Got it.
spinning.
Yeah,
Already,
yeah.
that's really high production quality. That looks
That's
great.
great animation, I was going to say.
Yeah,
It's really good.
The studio that's doing these, they have like fallen in love with the project, and they're given a small task and they just go overboard. They love it so much that they're just getting into it and just adding their own extra overtime on it. So shout out to them.
Yeah. So speaking of the Shaka, right? Like, where is Hasaka? I feel like the bull market can't kick off without the wolf returning. So, we still have at least one more leg left.
What's his last tweet? What's his last tweet time? Has it been many months? Let's see. There's the there is no bull, there is no bear. Okay. And then Jan. Wow. So
No, that was a repost.
Oh, I see. Okay, so August.
August 27th was the last.
He's been liking posts. I've seen that he's liked a couple posts, but he hasn't posted himself.
Miles, thank you so much for joining us. I hope to have you on again, and good luck with the rotations.
No, thanks for having me. Had a lot of fun. See you later.